To be successful in the self-storage business today is not a function of what you know about self-storage. Yes, you've got to know a lot about self-storage, but that, in my opinion, that's not what's going to determine if you're successful or not. Today I want to talk about the second in a series of 5 mindsets that I think are critical to be successful at getting in the self-storage business today. My name's Mark Helm. I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and what I do is I support the small investor who wants to get in the self-storage business or who wants to grow their self-storage business, strategically do so in a way that creates true wealth and a fulfilling career. And yes, you got to know a lot about self-storage, but what you know isn't going to make the difference of whether you're successful or not. Most colossal failures in life are people who know a lot. So what I want to talk about are the mindsets that I see people who are successful, the mindsets that they have. And last week we talked in depth about the can-do-it mindset, or that's what I call it. Now, everything I'm sharing with you, none of it I have created. This is all learning that I've had through Landmark Education, Tony Robbins, Byron Katie, Stephen Covey. At this stage of my life, I'm not even sure what comes from where, but nothing I say is something, or very little of it, is something that I created. This is all stuff that I've learned, but it's what I and our team does on a daily basis as we grow our self-storage business. And it's what I've seen the people that I work with who are getting in the self-storage business or growing it. These are the mindsets that I see them have. Today I'd like to talk about the second one called, or what I call, I don't have to know everything at this moment to take action mindset. Sometimes the ability to take action or the speed of implementation is going to determine your level of success, especially in the self-storage business, but in life itself. Reid Hoffman, the creator and inventor of LinkedIn, once said, if you're not embarrassed by the first product you shipped, you waited too long. Now, I know we're not in the digital space. We're dealing with something pretty simple compared to that, self-storage, but that's pointing to the ability to take action. And in many cases, that's going to determine your level of success. Now, I know there's a lot of spaces involved with buying a storage facility, building one, putting one into service. I know that. It can occur very overwhelming. And many of us are people who in the past we were trained or we developed the habit of not taking action until we have everything figured out. That is a killer in getting in the self-storage business. Now, I'm not an advocate of taking reckless action, but you don't have to have everything figured out. I hear a lot, well, I don't know where all my investor money's coming from. I haven't been approved for a loan. I don't know if I can get a loan. I'm not sure how many square feet I can add on this property. On and on. Now, if you've got a strategy for getting investor money, or if you know your credit score and you're not sure you can get a loan on this property, but you know you can get a loan, I'm not saying don't be reckless, but I'm saying don't be stopped because you don't have everything figured out at this exact moment. I know there are a lot of mistakes that can kill a deal. Your goal is just not to make a fatal mistake. And the number one fatal mistake is not taking action. Often I think the fear of making a mistake is what stops us from taking action. I'm going to alleviate that from you because here's what I know. You are going to make a mistake. We make mistakes every day. Again, the game is not to make a fatal mistake. And if you've got your systems and structures somewhat in place, you'll be protected from making a fatal mistake. I've never seen a contract that a buyer can't get out of if they discover something they didn't know about the property. So if you go back to last week's episode, you'll see that what I did was develop and show you the strategy we use for determining what our limiting beliefs are that stop us as we grow and develop in life, and particularly in the self-storage business. I think for many of us, the belief that I can't make a mistake is just right there for us. I don't know my construction numbers yet. I don't know how many square feet will be put in the expansion. I don't want to make a mistake. Well, look, if you've done a preliminary analysis and you're not doing pie in the sky type numbers and you're using averages, and you can get industry averages in the Almanac, Self-Storage Almanac. They're all through the industry. Storage Association, Minico, all have averages. And if you're not doing pie in the sky where you're doubling the income in 2 years, but you've done your preliminary analysis and it appears to work and meet your business benchmarks that you've got to hit, odds are that property's going to work. Out of the last 10 properties that we have put a contract on, we've closed on 8 of them, and there's nothing special about us. And these are the same type averages I see with the people I work with. So don't be stopped because you don't have everything figured out yet. If the property looks like it's something that could work, take action. Now, I know in most cases, taking action, especially for the first time, involves 1 or 2 more zeros than any project we've ever done. It can be very scary. I get that. I'm still very nervous every time I put something or under contract or control a piece of property, especially when we're closing on it. I'm very nervous about it. I understand that. But I've developed the ability to separate what I'm feeling from the ability to take action. When I'm having a conversation with someone to see if we may work together in a coaching capacity, that's one of the main things I'm listening for. Can this person take action? Is this someone who takes action in life? I don't always get it right, but I'm listening for that. Or can that mindset be developed? You know, this idea of not wanting to make a mistake. I remember one time we had a portfolio of properties under contract, and once we got into the due diligence, I saw that it had a lot more deferred maintenance than I had put in my preliminary budget, and there were some real drainage issues I was just not aware of when we wrote the contract. I couldn't work it out with the seller, and I had spent a lot of time and energy convincing our investors that this is something we should go after, and then to go back to them and say, I don't think we should close on this, I was really nervous. I thought they'd be real upset. We'd spent some due diligence money, but they were grateful. They thanked me for not rubber stamping a project in the due diligence process, and they were impressed that we could actually walk away from a deal that we had once advocated for very hard. I was surprised, but it's better to lose $10,000 or $20,000 walking away from a deal than to spend millions buying it, hoping that we can change it. But none of that would have happened if we had not taken action. One of the mindsets I see between the people who are successful and the people who are not successful is the ability to take action even if you don't have everything figured out. And I promise you, most of the time you're taking action in the storage business, you won't have everything figured out. Here's what else I'll bet. That if you're slow to take action in this part of your life, it's affecting other areas of your life too. So my suggestion is start taking action. Every day, take some action, or every week, that will forward your getting into self-storage business. It might be today you're just scheduling when you're going to look for properties, then do it. Or you're scheduling when you're going to analyze properties, then do it. What happens is if you begin to relate to yourself as someone who takes action to forward the game called getting in the self-storage business, and you do it consistently and regularly, one day the action to take is going to be to control a property or to write a contract on a property. And if you relate to yourself as someone who takes action today, even though you don't have everything figured out, when that day comes, that'll just be the next action step to take. So start small if it's not a mindset that you currently have. Get honest and figure out how you relate to this mindset called I don't have to have everything figured out to take action, and then develop the habit of taking action. You do that, you will be successful at getting in the self-storage business or growing your self-storage business. So next week, I look forward to being with you as we talk about the third mindset I think is important, and we're going to change your relationship to challenges and change your relationship to problems. I look forward to being with you then, and my name's Mark Helm. I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Storage World Analyzer. That's the financial analysis modeling tool that we use as we do our preliminary analysis to determine if this is a property we're going to take more action on. If you're not using it, I invite you to explore it. Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage.com, hit the Storage World Analyzer tab, or you can go straight to StorageWorldAnalyzer.com. Thank you, and I look forward to being with you again soon.